Can one simple request ruin a family? One bride-to-be found out that a seemingly small detail could ignite a firestorm of manipulation and betrayal, leaving her wedding in tatters and her relationships with her future in-laws shattered. This isn't just a story about a flower girl. It's a deep dive into the hidden dynamics of a family and the devastating cost of setting boundaries. The perfect plan. A wedding vision under threat. Our story begins with a couple deeply in love, eagerly planning their perfect wedding. The bride, a 23-year-old woman, had a clear vision for her big day, a vision she and her 27-year-old fiancé had meticulously crafted together. They had decided on everything, from the venue to the wedding party, long before the ring was even on her finger. The bridal party was a source of pride. Her sister's baby would be the flower girl, pushed in a beautiful stroller by her 10-year-old cousin. This was a family affair, filled with loved ones who were close to them both. To balance things, the fiancé wanted to include his best friend's son as a ring bearer, even though it might be tricky to arrange. As a fail-safe, they also included the two young sons of the same cousin, ensuring the ceremony would be seamless and stress-free. Everyone was excited, the children, the parents, the couple. It was all going according to a beautiful, well-thought-out plan. This unity was the bedrock of their wedding. The bride-to-be had a fantastic relationship with her future in-laws, especially her mother-in-law, who was always the first to say, "It's your wedding. Make your own decisions." This mother-in-law had become a second mother to her, a sweet and accepting woman who welcomed her with open arms. They seemed like the perfect extended family, supportive and loving from every angle. The twist. A new girlfriend, a new request. The serene wedding planning was about to be upended. The fiancé's brother, the best man, had a new girlfriend and an infant daughter. The couple hadn't met them yet, as the brother lived across the country, but they were happy for him and had, of course, invited them to the wedding. The family was equally supportive, embracing the new baby so warmly they had started calling her their first grandchild. It seemed like a beautiful blended family in the making. But a couple of weeks later, while the bride-to-be was spending time with her mother-in-law, the conversation took a turn. The mother-in-law brought up the brother's new baby, mentioning that he kept bringing up a suggestion. "Would you consider adding her as a flower girl?" she asked with a casual tone. The bride-to-be, polite and a little flustered, said she would think about it with her fiancé and quickly changed the subject. The first no. A united front. Later that day, she told her fiancé about the request, and they both immediately agreed it was a bad idea. Their reasoning was sound and logical. The role was already filled, and having two babies in the aisle, one in a stroller, the other a toddler who might not even be able to walk, was a logistical nightmare. The 10-year-old bridesmaid couldn't possibly manage two infants. More importantly, they had never even met this child or her mother. What if she was uncomfortable with the attention, or the mother wasn't okay with it? And the harshest but most realistic point, what if the brother and girlfriend broke up? They were not engaged, and the bride didn't want a stranger's baby in all their wedding photos for the rest of their lives. This wasn't about being cruel. It was about protecting their wedding and their memories. They were on the same page. The fiancé called his brother and, as gently as he could, told him no. He thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The betrayal. A family. Divided. The mother-in-law was not deterred. A few nights later, with both the bride-to-be and fiancé present, she brought it up again. She pressed her son, playing on his empathy, asking, "Don't you think it means a lot to your brother since he keeps bringing it up?" The fiancé, sweet and kind-hearted, began to waver, leaving his fiancée to defend their position alone. The mother-in-law started to list her arguments, rebutting every point the bride made. "All the kids are from your side," she said. "They're going to get married anyway," she insisted. The bride was a single island of reason, feeling like an awful person, as her fiancé was swayed by his mother's emotional appeals. The pressure was so intense she almost started crying and had to change the subject. The fiancé later apologized for wavering, admitting he had underestimated his mother's ability to manipulate. But the damage was already done. The bride had a sinking feeling, and her fears were confirmed the next morning. The brother called, and the first thing he said was, "Mom told me you were all for it, and your fiancé was the one who said no." The mother-in-law had deliberately twisted the story to turn the brothers against the fiancé. The manipulation was now out in the open. The couple, realizing they were being played, delivered their final firm no. But the family wasn't done yet. The ultimatum, a relationship on the brink. The brother, still feeling hurt, texted the fiancé again. He couldn't let it go. When they stood their ground, he did what all children do when they don't get their way. He went back to his mother for backup. The mother-in-law, now openly hostile, called the fiancé and attacked him for almost an hour. She went straight for the most vulnerable point, delivering a brutal ultimatum. "This will forever affect your relationships with the whole family." She even said it would permanently alter the relationship between the two brothers. This wasn't a request anymore. It was emotional blackmail. It had escalated from a wedding detail to a test of loyalty. The couple, now more united than ever, realized they could not give in. To do so would only teach their family that manipulation works. The situation became completely surreal. They later found out from the fiancé's sister that the brother had not only rescinded his offer to be the best man, but that neither he nor his mother would speak to them until they gave in. Conclusion. The real villain revealed. The wedding that was supposed to be a celebration of love had become a battleground. This wasn't about a flower girl anymore. It was about control, respect, and a family's shocking willingness to burn bridges over an unverified, unmeant-to-be request. The couple had a choice: sacrifice their boundaries to placate a manipulative family, or stand their ground and lose the very people who had once claimed to love them unconditionally. They decided to hold firm, knowing that the cost of caving would be their peace of mind for the rest of their lives. So, who's the asshole in this story? Was it the bride for wanting her wedding her way, or was it the in-laws for their shocking display of manipulation and emotional cruelty?